This is Lee with Eigo Love English. Today, I would like to discuss some words for describing sounds. There are lots of different kinds of sounds that you can encounter on a daily basis, so of course, there are lots of different English words for describing these sounds. The first word is clamor. Clamor is a sudden, loud, and surprising sound. So, if a very loud noise happens outside, you could say, "I looked outside to see where the clamor was coming from." The next sound is chime. Chime describes the sound of a bell. So, if you hear church bells ringing, you could say, "The church bells rang out their chime." The next word is harmony. Harmony is when two or more notes are played together at the same time to create a pleasing sound. So, if two singers are working well together, you could say that they have exceptional harmony. The next is melody. Melody describes the main tune of a song. So, if a song gets stuck in your head and you start humming it throughout the day, you could say that you are repeating that song's melody. The next word is racket. Racket is a very loud and obnoxious or annoying sound. So, if you have a neighbor with a very loud little kid, you could say, "The neighbor's toddler is making a racket today." The next word is rhythm. Rhythm is the pattern of beats in music or sound. The drums are usually responsible for the rhythm in most songs. So you could say, "The drums created an awesome and groovy rhythm." The next word is silence. Silence describes no sound at all. So if you walk into a room and it's completely quiet and you can't hear anything at all, you could say that the room was filled with silence. The next word is uproar. An uproar is an extremely loud noise. So, if a large amount of people are getting kind of rowdy, you could say that the crowd made an uproar. Next word is vocal. Vocal describes something related to the voice. So, for example, the part of a song where the person sings would be described as the vocals. Next is the word deafening. Deafening describes a sound that is so loud that it causes you to lose your hearing. So, if you stand next to an airplane that is taking off, you could say, "The engines of the airplane were deafening." The next word is monotonous or monotone. This word means to maintain the same note, especially in speech. So monotonous speech would sound like this. For example, you could say, "The robot used a very monotonous kind of speech." Next, I would like to discuss a type of English sound word called onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is a word that imitates the sound that the word describes. So, some onomatopoeia includes the word crackle, which means to break or snap. So, for example, you could say that the campfire crackled. Another kind of this word is fizz. Fizz is the sound of carbonation. So when you open up a soda, the sound that it makes is a fizz. The next word is hiss. Hiss describes the sound of air escaping. So, if you have a hole in your tire and it's becoming flat, you probably will hear a hiss as the air escapes from your tire. The next word is jangle. Jangle describes the sound of several small metal parts clacking against each other. So, for example, if you have a very large ring of keys, that is going to make a very loud jangle. Another onomatopoeia word is rustle. Rustle is the sound of several things being softly moved. So, for example, you could say, "The deer rustled the leaves as it walked by." Next is squeak. Squeak is a short, high-pitched sound, like the sound a mouse would make. So, if you squeeze a dog toy, it will usually make a squeak. The next word is thud. Thud describes a dull hitting sound. So, if you fall on the floor, you will probably hit the floor with a thud. The last onomatopoeia word I have to share is zap. Zap is the sound of electricity. So, for example, if you reach out your hand and a doorknob is just full of static electricity, you are going to get a zap from it. And with that is all of the sound words that I have to share with you today. If you enjoyed this video, please leave us a thumbs up. And also subscribe if you would like to see more English learning videos.